As you guys know, Jorge Masvidal has stepped in on 6 days' notice to challenge the current UFC Welterweight champion Kamaru Usman at UFC 251. In a recent interview with ESPN, Jorge Masvidal thanked the reporters for giving Dana White heat about his situation and for giving both sides of the story.
Thank you, my brother. But before I answer that, let me just say a thank you to you for being a real journalist, for going at Dana, asking the questions that only but one reporter in my community asked this individual, and really giving them some heat, because nobody really does that to Dana, besides Mr. Stephen A. Smith and yourself. Not a lot of people really give him what a journalist is supposed to do and get both sides of the story. So for that, thank you, my brother. For the last one, I thought that was awesome of you, man.
Daniel Cormier on the DC Helwani Show speaks on Jorge Masvidal taking a title fight on 6 days' notice.
Whenever Burns fell out and Masvidal said he would absolutely fight, I was certain they were going to get a deal done.
Really?
Yes, because here was the thing that allowed for Jorge to get what he was asking for. Right? It was going to take something out of the ordinary for him to get what he wanted, right? Because they had come to that point, both sides, where they were like, we're not willing to do business, right? It is what it is. I'm not going to give you what you want. Well, I'm not going to give you the fight because you're not giving me what I want. Great. But here comes this extenuating circumstance, right? A big circumstance that allows you to come back to the table and go, hey, are you a little more willing now to give me what I want? And the UFC is like, you know what, man? This is Fight Island. This is a big card. We need to blow this up. We need Usman here. And this is the guy. So yeah, I was certain. And I never questioned whether or not Jorge Masvidal wanted to fight, right? He wants to fight because he's a fighter. Nobody gets as many fights as he has, fights in the backyard, not be a true fighter. So I knew the moment they could come to terms financially, the fight would happen. And there was a great chance the terms could be met under these circumstances, opposed to having Gilbert Burns looking so good and being such a viable second option. He's on 6 days' notice in a fight where he's a 3-1 dog. But even if it wasn't 6 days' notice, he'd probably still be about a 3-1 dog. So it's like everything is salvaged. He gets to fight the fight with Usman. If he wins, his legend will go to heights that could never have been imagined. But if he loses, he took the fight on 6 days' notice. What's he supposed to do? Usman's been in camp, ready to fight. They have truly created a no-lose situation for Jorge Masvidal, because now Jorge's the guy that stepped up, right? Jorge stepped up. So now the UFC's got some good favor with him. Jorge got his money. So now Jorge's got his money. Jorge's got his title fight. Now he's got his title fight. But under circumstances where if you win, you become a legend. But if you lose, you actually lose nothing.
All right. So, up early again. We're trying to adjust to a time zone we're comfortable with. So we're up at like 3:45. We're going to do that pretty much every day. Go to bed 7. Wake up around 3:45 or something like that, along them lines. I've got Fox calling soon. A bit of the media starts today. Water loading starts today. Woke up to Masvidal being the replacement. We sort of knew that was going to happen, but obviously had to do testing and whatnot. And I'm guessing all that got approved. So that's cool. That's big. UFC 251 was already massive, and it just got even bigger, and so that's it's going to be good. Looking forward to put on a show. Make sure you tune in July 12th in Australia. Let's go.
Session again, we usually try and do it the same time as we fight. 8 o'clock we're thinking we'll be fighting, so I just got a session out of the way. Feeling good, moving well. It's only going to be one session a day now. Feel like I could easily do 2, but the boys just they're always pulling me back fight week, so fair enough. Just fine-tune everything, stay sharp, keep moving. We should be out of the quarantine soon, so we'll have more room to move around on the mats. We've got a bit of room, but not as much as I'd like. But we're allowed out and about. We've got our red bands, so we're allowed out of the hotel. We've got a whole safe zone that we need to be careful with. We're supposedly the whole of the Yaz Island, I think so. There's golf courses and whatnot, so we're going to go somewhere. I'm going to go grab a coffee. The boys might grab a beer. But let's get out of this hotel. It's hot outside, but we'll probably look for somewhere to chill inside the aircon somewhere. But
We'll just change locations for a little bit.
Dustin Poirier, in a recent interview with MMA Junkie, said they would not jump into a title fight last minute if it was offered to him.
That's a tough one, man. I don't want to slide in. I want to be picked because of, you know, what I've done. I want to have a proper training camp. I don't want to slide in when somebody stubs their toe. You know, I want to earn it. So we'll see what's next, man. I don't want to look too far. I'll wait on the UFC to call me. You know, like we've talked about, I've been in the UFC for 10 years now, and I'm just trying to do it as much my way as I can, you know, with the lessons I've learned over the years of getting prepared and taking fights and performing my best. You know, I'm just trying to do it right, you know, these last years that I fight.
Javier Mendez, in an interview with Igor Kakdela, said he would have joined the UFC 229 post-fight brawl.
Yes, 100% I would have jumped in the fight. When that happened, my back was turned. I thought the fight was over. My back was turned and I was hugging people in the crowd, friends of mine. And all of a sudden I turn around and there's this big old giant mess. I tried to get up there, but the police pushed me back. And, you know, when you deal with the law, you know, I obey the law, and they say stay back. I stay back. I'm not going to say, no, forget you. I got to get in there. I mean, they pushed me back, and I saw Daniel Cormier and Luke Rockhold in there, and I knew they would handle it. So there was no need for me to be in there and make a fuss and maybe me get arrested for, you know, trying to cause something that I shouldn't cause. Well, yeah, when he jumped out of the cage, that's what made him immensely popular, because, you know, the reasons why he jumped out of the cage is because he defended his country. He defended his religion, you know, and he defended his family honor. So it's the reasons why he jumped out of the cage, that this man's willing to do something to show, hey, look, listen, you know, you can't go talking about my country. You can't talk about my religion or my family and think that it's okay. This is a sport or entertainment sport event. This is not real life. You want me to show you real life? This is real life. And for me, I think what Khabib did was show that this is real life. You know, you can't, this is not a sport. Don't talk about my family. Don't talk about my religion, and don't talk about my country. You know, because it's not right. You don't have a right to discuss those things in public. You know, you don't. And I agree. I don't think any fighter has the right to discuss any of those matters in a public setting, especially for entertainment.
John Anik, in a recent interview with Dave Meltzer, speaks on Jorge Masvidal taking on Kamaru Usman on 6 days' notice.
I think you hit on something there that a lot of fighters talk about when it comes to a short notice fight. And when you sign a bout agreement and you have your traditional 8 or 12 weeks to prepare, you perseverate over that person. You're trying to keep the focus on yourself, but you can't help but look on Instagram and see what that fighter is doing. How hard are they going today? When you all of a sudden get a fight on 6 or 7 days notice, you're not perseverating on that individual for 8 weeks. And I do think it stands to reason that you become more focused on yourself. There's less time to think about things that really aren't going to matter on fight night. And then you just go let it rip. But Masvidal is such a veteran of the game that I'm not sure there's any fight atmosphere that's really going to faze that guy. I think his biggest issue is that his opponent, Kamaru Usman, is truly the greatest welterweight in the world. He's 11-0 in the UFC. And David, it's hard for me to remember even a round that he's lost. His last fight against Colby Covington was pretty competitive, but for the most part, through his first 10 UFC fights, the guy barely lost a minute. So I'm excited to get there, man. I mean, these championship triple headers are rare, and especially with this COVID-19 backdrop, this show just feels enormous. So hopefully we get our negative test here in the next hour, and it's wheels up later today.